general solutions. So far when we're looking at our trigonometric solutions, we've been looking at solutions within the range of 0 and 2 pi. So with our general solutions, we're able to actually look outside of this range and we can look up to any given number here. So what we're actually doing, we find a formula, we put it here, we use our n equals 0, plus and minus 1, plus and minus 2, plus and minus 3. And we work through from that and we can find any number of values for our actual general solution. So we have different formulas here for sine, cosine and tangent function. So we'll go through the examples over here. For 1, we have tan of x is equal to root 3 here. So remembering here we have pi on 3, pi on 6, that's our 1, 2, root 3. So tangent of pi on 3 is root 3 there. So here we've got alpha is equal to inverse tan, here tan minus 1, k, where our k is root 3. So our alpha here, root 3 on 1, is equal to pi on 3. So the rest of our formula here, we have x is equal to n pi plus alpha here. So our x values are our n values multiplied by pi plus pi on 3, where n is equal to 0, plus and minus 1, plus and minus 2, and so on. So if we look at some examples here, if n is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 times pi is 0, plus pi on 3. If n is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 times pi is pi, plus pi on 3, becomes 4 pi on 3. If n is equal to 2, x is equal to 2 pi plus pi on 3. Here is 7 pi on 3, and so on. So for number 2, we have 2 sine of x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we move our negative 1 over. 2 sine of x is equal to 1. So here 2 times sine x is equal to 1, so 1 times sine of x will be equal to a half. So if we look over here, we have 1 and 2. Sine of pi on 6 is equal to a half. So we have alpha is equal to sine minus 1 of a half. So alpha is equal to pi on 6. Now we have x is equal to n pi plus negative 1 to the power of n multiplied by alpha. Here, where n is equal to 0, plus and minus 1, plus and minus 2, and so on. So if we look here at our examples, we have, well, if n is equal to 0, x is equal to n times pi is 0 times pi is 0, plus minus 1 to the power of 0, here multiplied by pi on 6. So here we end up with pi on 6, and follow on from here. So for number 3, we have cosine squared x is equal to cosine of x. So we can put these on the same side. Cosine squared x minus cosine of x is equal to 0. So we can take 1 cosine x out of this equation. Is cosine of x minus 1 here is equal to 0. So either cosine of x is equal to 0, or cosine of x minus 1 is equal to 0, cosine of x is equal to 1 here. So here we have alpha is equal to cosine minus 1 here of 0, or cosine minus 1, sorry, alpha equals here of 1. So here, when x is pi on 2, cosine of that is equal to 0. So here alpha is equal to pi on 2, and here alpha is equal to 0. So here we fill this part of our formula in. Here x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 to the power of n times pi on 2. And x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 power of n multiplied by 0. And so on from there.